Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilee Burnett and I am a certified tarot card reader as well as an astrologer. Today's topic is the upcoming June solstice. In the northern hemisphere, it's the summer solstice, so the longest part of the year because we have the sun at the highest point in the sky. And in the southern hemisphere, the sun is at the lowest point in the sky and therefore it's winter and the shortest day of the year. I've drawn some cards for the event, but we're going to start out by talking about the astrology of the event. So the sun is the most important point because we, of course, are talking about the sun entering into the sign of Cancer. It is sitting at 0 degrees 0 minutes. This is what marks the start of summer here for us in the northern hemisphere. At the time of the event, we have a couple of things to focus on. We have a square making tension between both the sun and the moon. They're meeting at what is a 90-degree angle, and it applies pressure. Anytime we have pressure in our charts in the sky, that means that there's a need to make a change. We've got to make a turn, make a change in direction in order for these two energies to get along. So the sun is our ego self, it's our inner self, it's our inner child. It is what we show to those who are closest to us. It's what we need in this current time frame to feel successful. Cancer, where the sun is sitting, is the fourth house of the zodiac, which represents the sign of Cancer, and it represents home and family. So we have this need to be a part of family in order to feel successful in this time. And I set this message intent to be for the time between now and the fall equinox. So these are the things that we're working on over the next 3 months. With the square then to the moon in Aries, which is where the sun is happiest, and the sun's in the sign where the moon is happiest, we have this conversation between the two that is sharing, right? It's the moon helping the sun understand something about itself on more of an emotional level, and the sun in the sign of the moon helping it understand that there's things beyond just our emotional experience that we need to understand as well. So they're sharing messages back and forth with each other. But it's one of tension. It's we need to understand each other. Aries, where the moon is, and it's sitting really close to Jupiter, so we would call that a conjunction energy that's combined and working together. So together, Jupiter and the moon are squaring off with the sun. The moon in Aries is feeling confident about ourselves, needing to be independent in order to feel emotionally secure. So it's no wonder the sun's not happy with that conversation. The sun wants you thinking about family, not just what your own individual needs are. But the moon having a conversation with Jupiter there is needing to understand the strength that you have as an individual, even though you're still part of a family. There is no need for separation. The conversation throughout this time is teaching you that you can be a part of both. One doesn't have to threaten the other unless you choose for it to do so. You can still choose for these two energies to get along, the masculine and the feminine, which is also represented by Aries energy versus that Cancerian energy. It doesn't have to be a battle between the two. We just need to make changes in order for both sides' needs to get met, and somebody's going to have to take a step back, or somebody's going to have to let the change in for these two energies to get along. So it's a big conversation. Jupiter wants you to learn, right? It's learning, it's expanding, and it's growth. Helping Jupiter with that conversation is the fact that we have Mercury in its home sign of Gemini. So Gemini rules teaching, communicating, working with your hands. So we have another theme here between Jupiter and Mercury, both around teaching, learning, expanding our knowledge base, opening ourselves up to learning things that are new, learning how to communicate what we're feeling in a new and supportive way. So this work of the summer solstice is a little bit about reinventing ourselves. We talk about reinventing ourselves. A lot of times we think about Pluto. Pluto's death, its transformation, its power. It's still sitting in Capricorn where it's been for what feels like forever. And it's in that, what we'd call that 10th house, that high point like the sun in the sky. And there's a conversation there about, again, that male energy. What is it about that you need to understand, that you use to your benefit? And there's a conversation when Pluto goes retrograde where we're coming to understand our power and how to use it in a way that is helpful and harmonious, because it is making that kind of a connection down here to Venus in the sign of Taurus. Venus in Taurus is strong. It's her home sign. She luxuriates there. It's a sensual experience, and she's almost leaving the sign. At each sign has just 30 degrees. She's sitting at 28 and about to leave her sign. But before she does, she's come up to have this conversation with Pluto, and Pluto's saying, are you giving your power away in love? How about money? How about your values? Where's your self-worth? What are you sacrificing in order to make somebody else happy versus focusing on your own needs? You can't value yourself with the money you have, the things you have, the people who love you. This is a conversation that is internal, and you understanding your values and your self-worth. So that's a little snippet of information about what's going on in the sky. There's more. There's continued conversations with the nodes, with Saturn, with Neptune, lots of things still going on there. And if you want more details on that, you can go to my website, marilybrunette.com, take a look at my written horoscopes for the month of June for more details about what's going on. I break it down day by day. Every time that we have a major event for the month, I've got more information for you there. And I'll put the link down below to that as well. So let's talk a bit more then about the cards. Of course, I asked the question, what could we expect during this June solstice event up until the fall equinox? And the cards answered me loud and clear, and they matched very much what I've already talked about here that's going on up in the sky. At the center of it, our sun, and if you think about the sun being in Cancer, this King of Swords suggests to be a bit more analytical about our emotions. Our emotions, of course, are what we need to feel and express, but at the same time, we need some critical thinking, and we can't just get stuck in the emotions without inviting in a bit of common sense. So this is a period of time where you're getting a bit more analytical, able to separate yourself a bit from your emotions and really think about what they mean. Why are you feeling them? What is their purpose? What are your emotions trying to actually tell you? A lot of times we get our emotions trapped inside of our body, and they can cause pain, they can cause illness. So it's a time where you can really dig in deep and understand the conversation that's going on between you and your emotions and your mind. So we talked about what Jupiter and Mercury are here to teach us. And the card for them is the Knight of Water. And the Knight of Water is a card where we are receiving gifts of love. The Knights travel around the kingdoms. They're conquering things. Somebody may be trying to come in and conquer your heart. But this time is different. This time you're thinking about it in a new way. It's bigger. Love means more. Love isn't intended to be superficial. This love can be something that you have for yourself that helps you grow and expand and connect to spirit. It can help you connect to another person on a much more intimate level. You only have to open yourself up to receiving it. The knight can hand you something. A lot of times it's some kind of a goblet, and it is in this picture too. But you have to take it, right? If you don't open yourself up to receive it, no matter what somebody tries to give you, nothing changes. So at the base of our foundation, the moon and the page of water can be messages from your ancestors even. And their message is, you need to wipe the slate clean where love is concerned. What you think about love, how you've experienced love in the past, and how you want to experience love in the future. The pages are very young energy. They're very immature. This could speak to a new love coming in that helps you rebuild your structure and your foundations. You just need to be prepared for it to be able to grow, and don't expect this to be somebody that comes in and it's instant kismet and you're off and running. This would be a love that gradually grows and matures, but as it first starts out, it's very fresh and young and new. And perhaps it's somebody you meet as a result of doing something with your family. Then what do we need to do for any of this to come in? We got to start over here with our past, and what do we need to do with the past in order to welcome this in? The Six of Air is a card that suggests you got to let the past go. This boat is moving away from the past, and that has to happen. If we don't let the past go, if we continue to live in the past, if we don't lift the anchor up on this boat and let it flow forward, all we can do is continue to get what we get, because we're just stuck in the past with regret, with shame, with blame. But I'm here to tell you, there is nothing that could have been done differently. What's done is done. What was intended to happen happened. And as a result of that, you're where you're at right now. Do you want to stay here, or do you want to lift that anchor and move forward and have this new experience that's waiting for you? So we look along the cards, right? The message is let go of the past. Be a bit more analytical. Don't just stay stuck swirling in your emotions. And as a result, you have this wonderful new beginning opening up for you. Ace of Earth is one of the cards where we visualize the hand of God, and whatever that is for you, coming down through the clouds, and it's offering you this gift of abundance. There's a financial reward attached to this. When love is flowing, money's flowing too, because we are in a place where we believe we deserve it. And this is saying, when you do the work, you do deserve it, and you actually will be rewarded for it. And it's a new beginning by the fall, right? This is a beautiful picture tied exactly to the symbolism of the fall equinox. And it would suggest that by that time, you know, here's this youthful energy. It's carrying a school book, and the school book says, hey, I'm enrolled in a new course. I'm enrolled in learning about myself, about being in the flow, about letting abundance in. And as a result, I'm being rewarded for being open-minded. I even went a step further and looked at the numerology and the cards today. And as I looked, it struck me kind of funny that these are all ones. You know, the ace, the knight, the king, the page, they all are the number one on the card deck. And then those, of course, add up to a 4, and then the 6 makes 10, which reduces to a 1. So there is this tremendous symbolism for you about bringing a new beginning into your life, as long as you let go of this past, let go of this anchor. So it's pretty exciting. I am looking forward to this personally myself, so I hope you all will be as well. And I'd love to hear any comments about your experiences that you can leave down below this video. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, it would be wonderful if you could give me the nice thumbs up for liking my video. And if you want to make sure that you get new video notifications every time I create one of these, just subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along for the ride, and I would love it if you could share this with anybody that you think would benefit from this message. So I'll put links down below. If you want to do some more work, I, of course, am also a clinical hypnotherapist. I have a series on my channel where you can connect to the energy of the zodiac signs. This might be a good time to sit and listen to the one for the sign of Cancer, since that is the energy that's highlighted with this summer solstice. That is a wonderful, I actually really enjoy that one myself, so I think you would get a lot out of that. It takes like 15-20 minutes. And then if you want more personalized sessions, of course, book them with me on my website. I'll put the links down below. And if you want more details, again, about the write-ups, subscribe to my website. Just once a month, I send out an article about the month ahead in those horoscopes, and then I send an article out about the new moons and the full moons, but I will not over inundate your inbox. So thank you so much for taking time with me today. I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to talking to you on our next video. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.